So we've been talking fats. In the last program we talked about MCTs, medium chain triglycerides, MCT oils. Some people call them MCT fats. We said they're important for people who have issues processing fat, and that's a lot of folks. If you had a gallbladder removed, if you have gallbladder pain after eating, pain in the upper right-hand part of your body, if you have a liver issue, 30% of Americans are dealing with fatty liver disease, intestinal issue, stomach issue, pancreatic issue. All of these can compromise your ability to access fats from foods, thus the importance of medium chain triglycerides, MCTs. And the easiest way to get MCTs into your system is through coconut oil, which is not only super duper tasty and not only a source of vitamin E, at least a little bit of vitamin E, but it's also great to cook with. Keep in mind, it's an oil, and you don't want to burn your oils. It's going to be volatile, and the less heat oils are subjected to, the better off they're going to be. But as far as heating oils go, coconut oil is one of the better ones to heat. What coconut oil can get you, in addition to the MCTs, the medium chain triglycerides, is they can provide a way to dissolve plant nutrients from vegetables. This is one of the hidden causes of disease, and it's also one of the hidden causes of skin aging. One of the hidden causes of wrinkling and photo damage, one of the hidden causes of dark spots, hyperpigmentation, is the fact that we don't access skin protective nutrients from vegetables as we get older, or as our fat processing or fat dissolving machinery, if you will, starts to break down with age. And this is extremely extra important, I should say, for menopausal or perimenopausal women who are notorious for having difficulties processing fats. And of course, we know that menopausal and perimenopausal women are also more susceptible to skin problems as they get older. So if that sounds like you, it's not necessarily a wrinkle cream issue. Use coconut oil, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, beets, whatever your favorite veggies, onions, whatever your favorite veggies are, and cook with your, roast them slightly in a frying pan with a little bit of coconut oil. The MCTs will be a good solvent for all the veggie nutrients, and you'll also get the vitamins, minerals out of the veggies as well. MCTs also get you a quick energy. MCTs have a degree of water solubility. They're not exactly water-soluble fats, but they're water dispersible. Water dispersible means that they don't dissolve in water. Your MCTs and your coconut oil aren't going to dissolve in water, but they'll spread out in water. So they're not exactly soluble in water, but they spread out. They're dispersible in water. And in the world of nutrition and chemistry, this is pretty incredible. You've got a water dispersible fat. You've got a fat that will actually spread out in water. MCTs are oils, so they're lipo. Remember we talked last time about lipo versus hydro. They're fatty, but they have a slightly hydro characteristic, and that allows the body to handle them in a unique fashion that is different from regular fats. This hydro quality, this water-soluble quality of MCT oils makes them quick-acting. Remember, hydronutrients are quick-acting. Liponutrients take more processing, so they're more long-term. The hydro nature of MCTs means they're going to be quick-acting. They have easy-to-process characteristic, and that is what allows compromised patients who have compromised digestive systems, who may not be accessing their liponutrients that well, to get some lipo benefits from coconut oil and to get some quick energy as well. So, in other words, what I'm saying here is, unlike other oils and fats that need to go through all the complex processing steps that ordinary fats have to go through, MCTs go right to work. Ordinary fats have to go through your lymph. They've got to be protected, and they've got to get carried around in little bubbles through the lymphatic system. MCTs go right into the blood. This allows them to avoid all the processing systems that the body has to go through for more typical fats, and they can be converted into fuel right away, and they're not stored. They're not stored as readily as regular fats either, so they're great for if you like the taste of fat, but you don't want to get fat, or you like the taste of, you want the energy-inducing benefits of fat. You can use MCT oils and not have to worry about storage. To really understand MCT oils, I've got to digress just a little bit and talk about fats. To really get a handle on the importance and the really stunning nutritional value and very fascinating biochemistry of fats, we've got to digress a little bit and talk about fats. I should say of MCT fats. We've got to digress a little bit and talk about fats. So what most people call fats is technically called a triglyceride. That's what a fat is. They come in 3 sizes. We've said this before. And they all have their own particular relevance to health. And unless your healthcare professional is really up on his nutrition or her nutrition, there's a good chance that they're not really aware of the benefits and the relationships that all these fats have with each other in terms of their sizes. Most healthcare professionals don't really know what a short chain fat is, or a medium chain fat is, or a large chain fat is. These are the three sizes that triglycerides and fats come in, and they're all important for health, all of them. And we'll talk here in a second about these short ones, and they're incredibly important for heart health and for brain health and for losing weight and for blood sugar control if you're diabetic. When was the last time you heard your doctor, your endocrinologist, or even your dietitian for that matter, talk about the importance, the fundamental nature, the fundamental importance of these short chain fats? So you got three sizes of fats. You got long, medium, and short. The short ones are so interesting. They're the most interesting, I think, of all the fats. Medium ones are interesting too, but these short ones, they're also called volatile fats. Man, these things are incredible in how fundamentally important they are, and how fundamentally important they are for something that we've been talking about a lot on this program, and that is the health power of a good fast. We'll talk about that connection, short chain fatty acids and fasting. Here when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll be back after this.
Have you noticed that in a
Okay, we're talking triglycerides, fats, the three different kinds of fats. You've got the large, medium, and small, the shortest ones. Those are the most, I think they're the most interesting. Short chain fatty acids, they're called volatile fatty acids because they evaporate readily. Unlike the medium chain fats, which are water dispersible, the medium chain fats that are in coconut oil, 60% anyway, of coconut oil's medium chain fats, these medium chain fats are water dispersible. They'll spread in water but not completely dissolve. But the short chain fatty acids, oh my goodness, they will actually dissolve in water. They are water soluble fats. In fact, if you looked at one of these short chain fatty acids, these SCFAs, you might actually think you were looking at water. They look like water, and most people don't even think of them as fats. One of the most common of these short chain fatty acids is one that you probably have in your kitchen cabinet. It's one that we've talked about ad infinitum. We've talked about it pretty much every day. Every Bright Side episode, we talk about this one short chain fatty acid, and I'll bet you wouldn't even consider it a fat. When I tell you what it is, you're going to be blown away. And it is a short chain fatty acid, and this stuff has gets its health relevance and health power because it is a short chain fatty acid. I'll tell you what that is here momentarily. So the fact that these short chain fatty acids are so volatile and so water soluble, but they're still fats, and they still can be used as energy, gives them some very, very important properties. They don't have to go through all the processing that other fats do. They're like medium chain fats in this regard. They can travel through the blood quickly, but because they have such easy access to the blood, they're water soluble after all, they can actually get right into the brain, and they can communicate to the brain. When your short chain fatty acids go up, they can move into the blood, and then they can move into the brain. This is how one of the ways anyway, the intestine communicates to the brain via short chain fatty acids. They're brain chemicals. So you eat certain foods, and we're going to talk about how you can upregulate or increase your short chain fatty acids, the production of short chain fatty acids. But for now, just understand when you have more short chain fatty acids, short fats in the intestine, these short fats go into the blood and they go into the brain and they talk to the brain. And this makes them ideal signaling molecules for communicating to the brain what's happening in the digestive system. These short chain fatty acids are perfect signaling molecules that can tell the brain what's going on in the intestine. And this is one of the reasons why short chain fatty acids are such terrific appetite suppressants. Short chain fatty acids turn off your appetite. This is amazing. You got a fat that turns off the appetite. This is a classic example of why you don't want to listen to your dietitian, who typically doesn't understand chemistry. Dietitians understand calories, dietitians may understand food, but they don't understand biochemistry. And that's the only way they can tell you to stay away from butter or to stay away from fats, because as it turns out, short chain fatty acids, and butter contains lots of these short chain fatty acids, can actually suppress the appetite. You got a fat that helps you lose weight. Butter helps you lose weight. How do you like that? And it tastes awesome too. The idea of signaling and chemistry and biological activity that's associated with fat is why you really, really don't want to pay any attention to standard dietitian or medical information about all fat is bad and all fat is the same. There isn't one type of fat. And not all fat is bad. In the case of medium fats and short fats, you actually have fatty molecules that have anti-fat storage benefits, as we're going to talk about here probably tomorrow, because I want to get your phone calls. We'll talk tomorrow how short-chain fatty acids are also very important for blood sugar control. They're also very important for heart health. And guess what? This is really amazing. We'll talk about this tomorrow. Short-chain fatty acids can actually lower cholesterol synthesis. That's right. Butter is the best statin drug going, or at least one of the best statin drugs going, with no toxicity and no insurance companies and no going to the doctor and going to the drugstore and waiting in line. We'll continue this talk tomorrow. I just want you to understand how unbelievably medicinal and nutritionally valuable and biochemically active these short-chain fats are. And as I say, butter is one of the best sources of a really super powerful short-chain fatty acid called butyric acid. We'll continue this discussion tomorrow. On the bright side, got some phone calls to get to. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. Let's welcome Donald to the bright side. Good morning, Donald. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning, Ben.
Good morning.
About 8 months I've had this little sore on the left side of the cheek, and I went to the dermatologist. He took a biopsy, and the lab said that there's like 6 centimeters in there, cancer cells.
Okay.
They want to do surgery.
Well, you probably should get it taken out. Did they biopsy it and they tell you it's malignant or anything like that?
Well, they said 6 centimeters. I guess it's cancer cells.
Okay. Yeah, they're going to take it out, I'm sure. After they take it out, and even before they take it out, make sure you're putting topical fatty vitamin C on there. And if you can't find a good fatty vitamin C, shoot me an email, and I'll send you a couple samples or tell you where you can get it. Ben@ksco.com. Also, you want to make sure that you're protecting your skin with antioxidant nutrition, and there's lots of things that you should be doing. For one thing, we've been talking about the importance of vegetables and fats combined. Vegetables not only contain skin anti-aging substances for the skin, they also contain anti-cancer substances for the skin. So making sure that you're using Brussels sprouts and broccoli and beets and all your veggies with oil, with coconut oil or with butter to extract those fatty substances. You should be on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine for sure.
Yes, I've been on a Healthy Start Pack now for 2 years. But I wanted to ask you, too, there's a doctor on TV he said the latest thing, he's got this like a cream you put on the face. It's got...
Eggplant? Is it the eggplant cream?
No, it's that new, what do they call that, ozone cream with minerals.
Yeah, you can. I don't know necessarily that that's going to be anti-cancer, but it can heal your skin. It can have some nice healing properties for the skin. Ozonated. We've talked about ozonated topicals in the past. Ozonated or ozone-loaded oils can be very healing. So you want to use that after your surgery for sure. But what I was talking to you earlier is about a cream called, it's an eggplant cream. It's, I think here, BEC5. BEC5. It's an eggplant extract cream, and it's got some really interesting benefits for skin cancer. Hang tight, Donald. I'll tell you. I'll finish up when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. We'll be back after this. Okay, welcome back to The Bright Side. 844-236-6010 is our number. Donald in Tennessee. Skin cancer. Yes. A couple things. So the ozonated oil, that's a great healing tool. I don't know necessarily it's going to be protective for you from the sun. Best thing you could do to protect your skin from the sun is, and also pre-surgery and post-surgery for that matter, is topical fatty vitamin C. Shoot me an email if you can't find it, and I'll tell you how to get it.
Well, I don't know how to work the computer.
You don't?
No.
Neighbor? Somebody? You got a neighbor? Somebody?
Yeah, I got a neighbor.
Yeah, get a neighbor. Shoot me an email, Ben@ksco.com. Put your phone number there, and I'll call you back. Also, there's this eggplant cancer cure. I don't know if you've heard of this. You can get a book called The Eggplant Cancer Cure. It's by a guy who actually discovered, and he swears in the book anyway, he swears the stuff is effective for dealing with cancer. And it's an eggplant cream, and I forgot the name of it, although something tells me it's like BEC5 or something along those lines. Just Google Eggplant Cancer Cure, and you'll get a lot of information. You'll get the book, and you'll also get a source for the eggplant cream for cancer. The guy's name who wrote the book is Cham, Bill Cham, C-H-A-M. Does that help you?
I wanted to ask you, too. They're telling me there's a root in there, and they have to get the root out. Is that true?
Oh, yeah. If they don't get the whole thing out, it's going to come back.
Okay, and then I heard that frankincense oil is good.
No. That's silly. I don't know who told you that. No. That's not going to. Cancer is not. Frankincense oil is not going to take care of cancer. Cancer is a sign that cells are freaked out, and it takes a lot of damage for a cell to become freaked out. The sun can't do it by itself. The cell has to be destabilized, whether it's a skin cell or any other cell. The cell has to be freaked out and destabilized for it to become cancerous. A cancer cell is a cell that is at its wit's end, and it knows no other way to survive than to divide very rapidly. So you want to consider a cancer cell to be the equivalent of a sociopathic human being. You know, human beings are not supposed to be sociopaths, but when they've been pushed to their wit's end and they're scared and freaked out, they become sociopathic. They just do whatever they need to do to survive, and that's what a cancer cell is. A cancer cell doesn't care about its neighbors. It doesn't communicate to its neighbors like other cells do. It's just a greedy, nutrient-sucking up, fast-dividing cell, and it's a cell that has just been completely abused for decades. So by the time a cell turns cancerous, with all due respect, it's not just I'm not just talking to you, Donald, I'm talking about everybody out there who's dealing with cancer. By the time a cell has become cancerous, for the most part, it's manifesting the signs of long-term abuse. You can't just put frankincense oil or anything else on a cell and then expect it to behave itself. You got to calm the cell down, and in this way, cancer is just like any other health issue. It's a sign of a cell and ultimately a body in distress. Calm the body down with nutrition, with oxygen, staying away from any kind of problem foods, most importantly, or toxins in general, and just kind of relax the system. And then the body will take care of the cancer itself. The body will take care of everything itself, as long as it has the raw materials to do its work and it has a clean environment and a clean, stress-free environment to do its work. I got to move on, Don. Anything else?
Is 6 centimeters large?
Yeah, you're up there. You want to definitely have that taken care of.
Yeah, the nurse said it didn't get to the bone or the muscle yet.
Okay, I would have it taken care of. I wouldn't mess around, and then change your life around. Make sure you get on a good supplement program, especially the veggies and the oil. I got to move, Donald. Thank you so much. God bless you, and good luck with everything. I hope that works out for you. Nancy in Tennessee, thanks for holding. What's going on?
I have a question about whey protein.
Sure.
Concentrate versus isolate.
The isolate is a much more heavily processed form of whey. Whey is already a processed protein, and processing is always the enemy of food. It's especially the enemy of protein. So the isolates are made for people who have problems with some of the fractions that are in whey. I wouldn't mess around with the isolate unless you have you can't handle whey and you want to get the whey protein. It's really not a good option. Go concentrate, in my opinion.
Okay. And what about raw goat's milk?
Awesome stuff. Awesome.
More healthy for your body.
Oh, yes. Goat's milk is the best milk going. You know, milk in general, it's kind of a mixed bag. There's good things and there's bad things in milk, but it's really the processing, the homogenization, and the pasteurization that's the issue. So raw milk is always going to be to your advantage, and goat's milk is a much more human-friendly form of milk than bovine or cow's milk would be.
Right. And then the last question, probiotics before a meal. And also sweeties before a meal.
Yeah.
You take those two together?
Yeah, you can take them together. It doesn't matter before or after the meal. That shouldn't make a difference. Yeah, as long as you have it in your system while you're eating, or while the food's in your system. You have the chromium, the vanadium, and the B vitamins for that matter. Sip on the BTT as well. We don't talk about that a lot, but BTT with your meals will help you get access nutrition from your meals and help stabilize your sugar, as well as the sweeties, same idea, and the ultimate EFAs for that matter as well. As long as it's around the same time as you have the food in your stomach, before or after the meal, shouldn't make too much of a difference.
Great.
Okay. And then Nancy, I don't know if this interests you, but for the listeners, there's a company called Mount Capra that has goat whey protein, and I think it's organic even, organic goat whey protein. I'm not sure if it's organic, but it's definitely goat whey protein. And if you want to do goat dairy, look up Mount Capra, C-A-P-R-A. Mount MT, MT for Mount Capra, C-A-P-R-A, and they have goat protein, and goat whey protein, and I'm pretty sure it's organic, although you have to look into that.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Thanks, Nancy. Take care. Okay, bye-bye. All right, let's go to Castle Rock. What's up, Robert? In my neck of the woods.
How are you?
How you feeling, buddy? I'm going to see you this Saturday, right?
Yes, sir.
Super Saturday for you guys in the Denver area. I'm going to be doing a talk for my good friend Tom. Tom and Denise Chenault will be doing a talk for longevity this Saturday, March the 7th, and it's in Longmont. So if you're in the Colorado area, I hope to see you. What's up, Robert? How you doing?
Well, I was doing well until the snowstorm hit, and I slipped out of my car, not thinking, and just jammed. It took all the force on my kneecap.
Oh, no. That's awful. Is it swollen?
Yeah.
Swollen?
Yeah, well, it's stiffened up, and I iced it and all that kind of stuff, but what can I take to...
You're Robert that lost all that weight, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
How's that going, by the way? Still losing?
It's going well. Still losing.
How much?
Another 50 pounds to go.
Tell the listeners how much you lost. Nobody's going to believe this.
110 pounds so far.
That is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
How much more do you want to lose?
I'm going to 165.
You want to lose 165 pounds?
No, I'm going to 165.
Oh, you want to be 165. Okay, and then will you be at convention? Will I see you at the convention?
Yes, I will be at a convention.
Okay, good deal. I'll look forward to that. All right, so for the knee, a lot of things you could do. First of all, I'd be rubbing that CM cream on there, CM cream,
right.
And you might also want to take some of the CM capsules. Make sure you're using the Ultimate EFAs. And then one of the neatest things you could do to when you have a bruise or you fall, or even pre-surgery or post-surgery, if you want to reduce inflammation, is use the Ultimate enzymes with some apple cider vinegar together on an empty stomach. Obviously, the Ultimate enzymes, they're digestive enzymes, are going to help you with food, but they can also help you with inflammation after you wound yourself, or after you hurt yourself, I should say. And this is also true before and after surgery. So 2 or 3 Ultimate enzyme capsules in the middle of the day. And take it with a little bit of apple cider vinegar, and that'll help with the inflammation and speed up the healing. A couple other things if you want to throw in. Vitamin E is very anti-inflammatory. Vitamin E also has got some good anti-inflammatory benefits for post-workout, for people who are working out a lot and getting post-workout inflammation. But any inflammation, 400 to 800 IU of vitamin E, Robert. Take it with food, but make sure... if you take 800, that's a lot. Make sure you don't have any diarrhea or loose stools. If that's the case, then back down a little bit. I like alpha lipoic acid. We're going to talk about alpha lipoic acid here in the next couple of days because, as it turns out, lipoic acid is a medium chain fat. It's a fatty acid. Alpha lipoic acid, 400 milligrams, along with your vitamin E. I got to move, Robert. Thanks for your call, buddy. I look forward to seeing you on Saturday, and congratulations on losing that weight. That's what you can do with good nutrition, you guys. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. 844-236-6010 is our number. Hang tight. We'll get your calls. If you're on hold, hang tight. We'll get your calls when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll be back after this. Good morning, Stephen in Virginia. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Oh, all right. Nice to hear you again.
Thank you. What's going on?
We were wondering if you could clarify about the difference between the 2 types of vitamin E.
2 types. There's 4 types or 8 types actually. What makes you think 2 types? What were you thinking? And then I'll tell you why.
I wasn't sure about that, but I thought
okay. I do know what you're saying. There's 2 main types. You're right, and then each one of those 2 types has 4 subtypes within it. So you have something called tocopherols, and that's those standard ones. The most prominent sub-fraction of the tocopherols is called alpha tocopherol. That's the ones that are easier to extract, and those are the ones we've known about for a while. There's actually 4 different tocopherols. The most famous one, or the most readily available, is called alpha tocopherol, and then there's also beta, delta, gamma, and alpha, delta, gamma, I forget the other one is. Alpha, beta, maybe beta tocopherol, alpha, beta, delta, and gamma. In any case, there's 4 tocopherols, and then there's 4 tocotrienols. And tocotrienols are the latest darling in the world of nutrition. Not the latest, but they've been around for maybe 3 or 4 years, in the news for 3 or 4 years. And those are more powerfully antioxidant than the tocopherol. So the best bet, Steve, is to use both, and that's what I do. I use mixed tocopherols and mixed tocotrienols, and I try to get anywhere from 400 to 800 international units of vitamin E a day. It's stupendously healing, vitamin E, and it's also very important for the heart, and it's very important for fats in general, and it's important for all cells. Very important for folks who are dealing with dementia and Alzheimer's disease. And the more fats you eat, the more essential fatty acids and EFA supplements you take, or oils that you eat, the more vitamin E you need. Vitamin E protects fats from rancidity and oxidation. So if you're supplementing with essential fatty acids, or you're using fats on your salad, vegetable oils in your salad or salad oil, then you want to make sure you're upping your vitamin E. And as I was saying to Donald or Robert before we went to break, vitamin E also has anti-inflammatory properties if you hurt yourself, or after a workout, post-workout, anti-inflammatory properties. Does that help, Steve?
Yes, good information.
One last thing. Let me tell you. Selenium and vitamin E work together. So when you're taking your selenium, that's a good time to take your vitamin E, or vice versa. Selenium, the ultimate selenium from longevity, works with vitamin E. They go hand in hand. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah. No, we were also reminded. The gentleman with the skin cancer. We were reminded about the. Which you've taught us about, of course, avoiding sugar and the deep breathing.
Yeah, that's also always important. It doesn't sound like it would be important because, we're so used to, you take this medicine for this problem. But it's really the general systemic strategies that are going to give you the best bang for your buck in terms of health benefits. General strategies, relaxation, nutritional supplementation, making sure you're staying away from crappy food, processed food, and sugars and processed fats, etc., correcting digestive problems. These are general strategies that will help you with your heart. They'll help you prevent cancer. They'll help you keep wrinkles at bay and hyperpigmentation strategies. These are all general strategies that are really the cause. Lack of applying these general strategies is really what's behind our health crises. Not lack of statin drugs. We don't have heart disease in this country because we don't have enough statin drugs. We got it because we're not applying these general, logical, God-given strategies, these basic ways of taking care of our health, like sitting on our couch and deep breathing, or eating more protein and staying away from sugar. Thanks for pointing that out, Steve. Anything else? Anything else I can help you with?
That's great. We sure appreciate it.
God bless, Steve. God bless you, my friend. Say hi to Rose.
Too.
We'll talk to you again. Okay. Todd in Portland, what's up? Welcome to the bright side, buddy.
Hi, Ben. It's great to talk to you. I listen to most of your shows through YouTube. I just want you to know that, so keep posting it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's my friend Kevin in the Soviet Union, or actually Russia, not the Soviet Union. Russia who's putting those. Thank you, Kevin. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry, Todd.
Oh, it's fine. At the age of 46, I actually had bypass surgery. I'm 52 years old now.
Wow.
I completely changed my life into working out, very much into healthy eating and all that stuff. And your show has actually been so informative to me. My question to you is that obviously with bypass surgery, I've had damage done to my endothelial cells in the walls. Okay. In your opinion, I've read a lot of books, Dr. Ignargo's book. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing his name wrong. I'm a little nervous.
What's his name? What's the doctor's name?
Ignargo. He's the one of the Nobel Prize winners for nitric oxide.
Okay.
His findings on that.
Yeah.
Anyway, he claims you can repair the damage that was done to the endothelial cells.
There's no claim. That's just how it works. The endothelial cells. Go ahead.
I want to hear your opinion on that because I'm excited about that, actually.
Oh, heck yes. Endothelial cells, for the listeners, are the cells that line the inside of the blood vessel. Endo meaning inside, and the thelia, or thelial cells, are cells that lay on top of things. Epithelial or endothelial are cells that lay on top of stuff. Endothelial cells lay on top of the lining of the blood vessel. And, of course, they absolutely repair themselves. They're one of the fastest repairing cells in the body, actually. And when you think about it, it makes sense because they're constantly being damaged. They have to repair themselves. So yes, indeed, they do repair themselves, and you want to make absolutely sure if you have a history of heart disease or heart damage or if you've had bypass, repairing endothelial cells is a major strategy. But you don't have to worry about repairing endothelial cells. It's not like you take special endothelial cell medicine. There's only 4 basic types of tissue in the body. Epi and endothelial tissue is one of those. And general health strategies are going to build those cells up. And you don't have to do anything special, Todd. You don't need a special drug. You don't need a special strategy. Although the nitric oxide stuff that we've been talking about, that can definitely help you. I'm sure you've been paying attention to that. Everybody
talk about that stuff. It's
I don't know why. Yeah, I know. I don't know why. For some reason, people aren't hip to that yet. But using all the nitrates, have you explored nitrate juices, veggie juices, celery juice, and beet juice, and that kind of stuff?
Oh boy, I got my NutriBullet, and I do 3 a day.
Oh, that's awesome. Have you tried with celery juice? Is that what you're doing, or what kind of juice?
Actually, a lot of beet juice. And then blueberries and stuff like that.
Well, easy on the sugar. Easy on the sugar. The beets are a source of sugar. They've got lots of good stuff in there, though, so you still want them. Same with blueberries. Easy on the sugar. But celery and cucumber, I don't know the NutriBullet. I assume you keep the fiber in the NutriBullet. Is that right? You don't lose the fiber. Okay, good. Because that fiber, we're going to talk about that fiber that you get in celery tomorrow as a source of these fatty acids. But you want to make sure you're using your fiber for when you're making your nitrate drinks. And then are you putting salt and spices in your drink too?
I do a little bit of sea salt, and I actually add some whey protein once in a while to some of my post-workout ones. And then also, because of listening to your show, I add some coconut oil to it. And that was the one last question I want to ask you too, because you're a fan of the Dr. Wallach, but he doesn't seem to have the same thoughts on.
Yeah, we've gone over that. I don't agree. You know, I love Dr. Wallach, and I've been following his stuff for many years, and I consider him one of my nutrition mentors and a good friend as well. But I don't always agree with everything he says. We don't always agree, and it's not like there's a Bible where you go to and you read and it tells you coconut oil is good or coconut oil is bad. What nutritionists do and scientists do is we take all of the literature, all of the evidence, and then we see how it works in our personal life, and if we're lucky enough to have patients and work clinically, we see how it works in our patients' lives, and then we make our own decision. Doc Wallach has made a decision, and I can't argue with him that, you know, coconut oil is something to stay away from. I disagree with that. In my opinion, and this is just my opinion, and Todd, you got to form your own opinion, and listeners, you all got to form your own opinions. I don't want anybody just listening to me. That's a pharmacist's worst nightmare, is somebody who comes in and gets their drugs and doesn't look at the bottle and doesn't ask questions. You always want to do your own research, do your own literature searches, test things in your body. And so for me, coconut oil, there's too many valuable things in coconut oil to dismiss it as a source of nutrition. Don't, make sure it's fresh and don't cook it too much, but it's a wonderful source of nutrition. And as far as those nitrate drinks go, for the endothelial cells and for upregulating nitric oxide, I am telling you, and Todd, you can verify this for me, you will not believe how, number one, tasty and delicious celery and cucumber and salt and spices in a Vitamix or a NutriBullet can be. But not only is it tasty, I mean unbelievably tasty, but it's so filling and so satisfying. And not only that, but when you drink a celery and cucumber juice with spices and salt, not only is it going to be tasty, not only is it going to be filling, and not only is it going to be really good for you, but there's something that the celery and the vegetables do that keep you from wanting to eat crappy food after that. You know what I'm saying, Todd? After you don't feel like eating crap after that. There's just something
I have no cravings anymore for junk. I eat the protein when I crave sugars.
Yes. That's one of the neat things about these veggie juices and really nutritional supplementation in general. And thanks for your call, Todd. Appreciate it. But in any case, the celery and the cucumber juice, you try to eat some Sara Lee Twinkies or whatever processed dessert you want to eat after you have a celery or cucumber juice with salt and spice. I'm telling you, it's going to be near impossible to do. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for listening, friends. Tomorrow we'll continue talking fats and a little bit about nitrates as well. I'll tell you about a really interesting fat that's probably in your medicine cabinet if you're like a lot of folks, and you probably don't even know it's a fat, but it's really, really good for you. We'll do all that tomorrow on The Bright Side. Thanks for listening. Have a wonderful, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.